Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It's very familiar territory, news conferences, because we used to give them on a almost daily basis. I think we probably maybe won the nomination because of news conferences.
The 240,000 jobs lost in October marks the 10th consecutive month that our economy has shed jobs.
It's good to be with you. We stopped giving them because we were getting quite a bit of inaccurate news, but I do have to say that
in total we've lost nearly 1.2 million jobs this year, and more than 10 million Americans are now unemployed.
And I must say that I want to thank a lot of the news organizations here today.
Tens of millions of families are struggling to figure out how to pay the bills and stay in their homes,
because they looked at that nonsense that was released by maybe the intelligence agencies. Who knows?
Their stories are an urgent reminder that we are facing the greatest economic challenge of our lifetime, and we're going to have to act swiftly to resolve it.
But maybe the intelligence agencies, which would be a tremendous blot on their record if they in fact did that, a tremendous blot.
Now, the United States has only one government and one president at a time. And until January 20th of next year, that government is the current administration.
Because a thing like that should have never been written, it should never have been had, and it should certainly never have been released.
I've spoken to President Bush. I appreciate his commitment to ensuring that his economic policy team keeps us fully informed as developments unfold. And I'm also thankful for his invitation to the White House.
But I want to thank a lot of the news organizations, for some of whom have not treated me very well over the years, a couple in particular, and they came out so strongly against that fake news.
Immediately after I become president, I'm going to confront this economic crisis head on by taking all necessary steps to ease the credit crisis, help hardworking families, and restore growth and prosperity.
And the fact that it was written about by primarily one group and one television station.
We discussed in the earlier meeting several of the most immediate challenges facing our economy and key priorities on which to focus on in the days and weeks ahead.
So I just want to compliment many of the people in the room. I have great respect for the news and great respect for freedom of the press and all of that.
First of all, we need a rescue plan for the middle class that invests in immediate efforts to create jobs and provide relief to families that are watching their paychecks shrink and their life savings disappear.
But I will tell you, there were some news organizations, with all that was just said, that were so professional, so incredibly professional, that I've just gone up a notch as to what I think of you, okay?
A particularly urgent priority is a further extension of unemployment insurance benefits for workers who cannot find work in the increasingly weak economy.
All right. We've had some great news over the last couple of weeks. I've been quite active, I guess you could say, in an economic way for the country.
A fiscal stimulus plan that will jumpstart economic growth is long overdue.
A lot of car companies are going to be moving in. We have other companies. Big news is going to be announced over the next couple of weeks about companies that are going to be building in the Midwest. You saw yesterday Fiat, Chrysler.
Second, we have to address the spreading impact of the financial crisis on the other sectors of our economy.
Big factory going to be built in this country as opposed to another country. Ford just announced that they stopped plans for a billion-dollar plant in Mexico, and they're going to be moving into Michigan and expanding very substantially an existing plant.
Small businesses that are struggling to meet their payrolls and finance their holiday inventories, and state and municipal governments facing devastating budget cuts and tax increases.
I hope that General Motors will be following, and I think they will be. I think a lot of people will be following. I think a lot of industries are going to be coming back.
We must also remember that the financial crisis is increasingly global and requires a global response.
We have to get our drug industry coming back. Our drug industry has been disastrous. They're leaving left and right.
The news coming out of the auto industry this week reminds us of the hardship it faces, hardship that goes far beyond individual auto companies to the countless suppliers, small businesses, and communities throughout our nation who depend on a vibrant American auto industry.
And the other thing we have to do is create new bidding procedures for the drug industry because they're getting away with murder. Pharma.
I would like to see the administration do everything it can to accelerate the retooling assistance that Congress has already enacted. In addition, I've made it a high priority for my transition team to work on additional policy options to help the auto industry adjust.
Pharma has a lot of lobbies, a lot of lobbyists, and a lot of power, and there's very little bidding on drugs.
Weather the financial crisis and succeed in producing fuel-efficient cars here in the United States of America. And I was glad to be joined today by Governor Jennifer Granholm, who obviously has great knowledge and great interest on this issue.
We're the largest buyer of drugs in the world, and yet we don't bid properly, and we're going to start bidding, and we're going to save billions of dollars over a period of time.
I've asked my team to explore what we can do under current law and whether additional legislation will be needed for this purpose.
I'm very much involved with the generals and admirals on the airplane, the F-35. You've been reading about it.
Third, we will review the implementation of this administration's financial program to ensure that the government's efforts are achieving their central goal of stabilizing financial markets while protecting taxpayers, helping homeowners, and not unduly rewarding the management of financial firms that are receiving government assistance.
And it's way, way behind schedule and many, many billions of dollars over budget. I don't like that.
It is absolutely critical that the Treasury work closely with the FDIC, HUD, and other government agencies to use the substantial authority that they already have to help families avoid foreclosure and stay in their homes.
And the admirals have been fantastic. The generals have been fantastic. I've really gotten to know them well.
Finally, as we monitor and address these immediate economic challenges, we will be moving forward in laying out a set of policies that will grow our middle class and strengthen our economy in the long term.
And we're going to do some big things on the F-35 program and perhaps the F-18 program.
We cannot afford to wait on moving forward on the key priorities that I identified during the campaign.
And we're going to get those costs way down, and we're going to get the plane to be even better, and we're going to have some competition, and it's going to be a beautiful thing.
Including clean energy, health care, education, and tax relief for middle-class families.
So we've been very, very much involved, and other things. We had Jack Ma. We had so many incredible people coming here.
My transition team will be working on each of these priorities in the weeks ahead, and I intend to reconvene this advisory board to discuss the best ideas for responding to these immediate problems.
And I will say, if the election didn't turn out the way it turned out, they would not be here. They would not be in my office. They would not be in anybody else's office. They'd be building and doing things in other countries.
Let me close by saying this. I do not underestimate the enormity of the task that lies ahead.
So there's a great spirit going on right now, a spirit that many people have told me they've never seen before, ever.
We have taken some major action to date, and we will need further action during this transition and subsequent months.
We're going to create jobs. I said that I will be the greatest jobs producer that God ever created, and I mean that. I'm going to work very hard on that.
Some of the choices that we make are going to be difficult. And I have said before, and I will repeat again, it is not going to be quick, and it is not going to be easy for us to dig ourselves out of the hole that we are in.
We need certain amounts of other things, including a little bit of luck.
But America is a strong and resilient country, and I know we will succeed.
But I think we're going to do a real job, and I'm very proud of what we've done, and we haven't even gotten there yet.
If we put aside partisanship and politics and work together as one nation. That's what I intend to do.
I look very much forward to the inauguration. It's going to be a beautiful event. We have great talent, tremendous talent, and we have all of the bands, or most of the bands, from the different segments of the military. And I've heard some of these bands over the years. They're incredible. We're going to have a very, very elegant day. The 20th is going to be something that will be very, very special, very beautiful. And I think we're going to have massive crowds because we have a movement. It's a movement like the world has never seen before.